All right, yeah, get your second camera sorted out, Naoto. Hey, everybody. We are doing the Naoto Nerd Hour. I'm Kevin. This is Naoto. We're from Knifewear. And Naoto is our sharpening wizard. Yeah, that's Naoto above me, right up there. And now is a great time for you. I don't know. Naoto's going to tell us what we have, but it's a great time to ask questions about sharpening. It's a great time to ask questions about um, knives in general, about anything really. I'm happy to talk about artwork and cooking. And Naoto, I'm sure, would happy to talk about Japan. So if you're into any of those things, just throw the questions in the comments, and we'll get Naoto's Nerd Hour on the roll. So this is Naoto's Nerd Hour from Knifewear. Naoto, take it away.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Naoto's Nerd Hour. The next, like this, we've been doing this for quite a while. I've been sharpening and showing some cool techniques and such. Today, what I'm going to do is the actually full on, almost like restoration on this knife. Came in for sharpening. This is the look familiar, Kevin?
It looks dirtier than when I remember it.
It's a Konosuke Fujiyama.
Is it really?
Yeah. It was sent from the this guy, good friend of ours, Sean Buckle. He's been the Instagrams and everything, and he decided to, he wanted us to sharpen this one. So yeah.
So maybe you can tell us what's special about that knife. How's it built, and what makes it unusual?
What I'm going to, this particular knife, the forged by the Yoshikazu Tanaka-san, which we actually have quite a few knives now from him. Sharpened by this Myojin Naoto, the same knife. The first name was actually me. He's a sharpener out of the Tosa. He's actually partnering up with the Toru. Hey, Kevin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, those two are partnering up, and we haven't seen the work yet, but yeah.
Because I haven't heard from Toru in years.
I know. We should go visit him, like surprise visit. Yeah, but this one is pretty good. The for those who knows a little bit of knife construction, it's got really nice. We call it the distal taper. It's got a little bit thicker on the spine, thinner as it goes towards the tip. It's usually done by both forging and the sharpening. But what's good about this particular Yoshikazu Tanaka-san is that the very rare in that the region Sakai, he does forge into that distal taper shape, where a lot of Sakai blacksmiths, they try to forge them into very similar thickness on the spine.
Why is that?
It's like really traditional. Like if you think about the those yanagibas, deba, they have a taper, but the yanagibas with subas, they often have very little difference from the top to the tip here. So
hey, look who's here, Naoto.
Yeah,
that's your knife there, Sean.
Got I wrapped your handle really nice so that it doesn't get dirty. So what I'm going to do today on this one here is that I'm going to start from the thinning a knife a little bit. Although it's really thin knife, it has been sharpened by a owner. Sean told me that he bought it off from someone else. So the previous owner have sharpened this one for a couple of times. It's probably more than a few times. So that the profile was a little bit awkward. I'd fixed this one before I started the show today. So it had a lot more flatter spot on the heel. It was about halfway. Then it had a little bit more curve. Then it had another flat spot right here. So before I came into this sharpening video today, I fixed the profile little bit nicer, so that when you roll, it rolls a little bit nicer. Where it was flat right here and a flat, like dead flat, about halfway on the blade, so it kind of stops from the nice rocking motion, right? So I fixed that a little bit. So Sean, I would hope that you like this profile a little bit better than it was. It was so flat that it would have caught from the smooth motion. So I hope you like it. Today, because it's what's the sound? I don't know what the sound is. But
That's something weird going off in my house.
oh,
I have somebody that's gone and set an alarm on it. Anyway, Naoto, it's not you.
alrighty. So what I'm going to do today is that not only do everything I still do everything by hand, but to speed up the process of thinning a little bit, I'll use the wheel. Okay, a little bit. So I'm going to face the camera to here. You see right there. And Kevin, if you want to explain what I'm going to do from here, that would be fantastic. So what are
you gonna do, Naoto?
Right, I'm gonna thin out this knife first, and I decided to do full-on restoration or sharpening today. So in order to do that, I wanted to speed up the process a little bit. So we have the wheel that has a quite coarse stone. It just spins. So what I'm going to do, I don't use any jigs or anything.
You're doing this, correct, Naoto?
Exactly. It was a little bit thicker along the edge, so I'm going to thin out. So
and after we get moving, sorry, excuse me. After we get moving for a bit, Blank, who watches all the time, is interested in talking about natural Japanese stones later.
Yeah.
And he wants to know what's the grit of that green wheel, and it's about 80 or 100.
100, yeah, something like that.
All right. What Naoto's doing? Because everybody see this? So what we've got is, this is the profile of a knife here, right? And this one here, you can see at the bottom here, it's been sharpened a bunch, and the bottom is getting, this one. The bottom is getting really fat. It's not this long, skinny taper like over here, right? So what Naoto's doing is he's going to just grind the sides off of this really steeply, basically to make it look like that again. And then we're going to have a really sharp, skinny edge to work with. It's going to make it feel sharper. It's going to make it cut through food better. And then he's going to put a very small koba or a small edge on the bottom. James Wang wants to say Happy Chinese New Year, Happy Lunar New Year. He says it's the year of the ox, so he's making Wagyu right now while watching Naoto sharpening. James will be straight over. We will be right over to your house to eat all of that. So thanks for that. Can you hear me, Naoto?
Yeah.
Sean's asking, do we have any experience with the horizontal grinding wheels from Naniwa?
Not from Naniwa.
Sean says he might buy one out of Naniwa because they're about $1,000. It looks like
horizontal, right? Like this, but big.
I don't know what he's talking about. But he's asking if we have experience. But obviously, like that one that you've got there is very similar.
It's pretty small. Naniwa one's super big. The one we have at the Vancouver shop is from Naniwa.
But that's a horizontal one.
That's a horizontal.
Is that what he's asking? Oh.
Yeah, he's asking.
Yeah. Sorry, Naoto, I'm crazy today.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, Sean, I actually have that stone, that wheel at the Vancouver store. I've used that wheel. It's great. It's huge. It's really, really big, and it splashes everywhere, man. So you got to make sure that you've got some kind of an area, like we've put plexiglass up and a shower curtain and stuff to just kind of collect everything coming off it is just is just really crazy. So that is, it's a great wheel. It's fast. It's fast. I like it for that. It's different than these little ones, so you have to learn a quite different technique. But I like it.
So the process I'm doing right now is to work on the just along the edge first, and I will start to bring it up a little bit by little. So it will eventually will have this grind mark a little bit more higher up here. Because this knife is it doesn't have so-called the shinogi or the primary bevel. I'm making that the bevel nice and the nice distal taper from the spine to the edge.
Yeah. Some knives, the way they're built, they're straight across the spine and the sides go straight and then they start tapering down like that. This knife tapers right from the spine to the edge, but it's got a bit of a I'm guessing it's got a bit of a convex edge, right, Naoto?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from the spine, it goes and then it kind of rounds and it comes down like that. So Naoto is just sharpening that whole surface right from the spine to the edge so that it's going to feel like it's brand new again. It's going to feel like the first day you had it. All right, what do we got here? We've got a man, Spoon Monkey 3, says, "Hi all, my Koishi 240mm Gyuto is still thin, and it's just over a year old in fact, but it has a wide koba and isn't getting sharp. Any suggestions?" Well, if it's got a wide koba, it's not very thin anymore. So I would say put it flat on the primary bevel when you're sharpening and just work those two primary bevels until the edge is sharp again, and then put another koba on it. And you should be good. Naoto says thumbs up, so he agrees with me. That's nice. Oh, Sean, you're looking for that. Sean's looking for the that stone so he can sharpen knives for his friends and coworkers.
Oh, the horizontal wheel, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll speed things up. You'll need some space to put it. Like, it's going to take up about as much room as a half car.
Yeah, it takes like this, probably space for two machines here.
Yeah, it probably takes about half, maybe a third of a car size, and you'll have to put something around it because it's really messy. It just shoots out a lot of liquid. These little wheels are a lot more polite about that. They're not nearly as messy. Oh, look at that. Jonathan Armstrong asking, any plans to open a store in Toronto? You know, we were supposed to open a store in Toronto this spring, but this whole COVID thing screwed everything up. So now we're back to square one. We do plan to. We've wanted to a Toronto store for years. It's finally the time for us to get around to it. So we will one day. Maybe Jonathan, you can tell us where to put it. Maybe you can say this would be a great place for it. Just throw it in the comments. We'd like to hear from you. Spoon Monkey says, would you thin a Western knife in the same way, or would you thin from the spine to the edge, or create a primary bevel, changing the whole look of the knife? You know what? It's your knife, Spoon Monkey. Grind right from the spine to the edge if you want to practice that. If you want to put in a primary bevel, go for it. You know, it will change the whole look of the knife, but it'll become your knife then too, right? It'll be really a unique knife then. I say do what you want. It's your knife. Go for it. And you can do a number of things. Like you can learn new techniques and you can experiment with it. That's kind of half the fun of sharpening anyways, just experimenting and then excuse me, changing what you have, like changing your knife so it feels like a different thing or looks like a different knife altogether.
So here, my camera today is not as clear, but
Did you clean your lens, Naoto?
Probably. Well, it looks fine. I think it's just maybe internet's thing, or this app doesn't support the phone as much.
Can you show it on your other camera then? Because that's it's really terrible.
You see
There we
that?
go. We can see better there.
It's
I'm going to move that over to the bigger one now.
yeah, it's polished
There
up
we go.
like this. You see the little deeper scratches. I'll clean up nice later. So this is the initial step to make the thin. I didn't have to go much higher than where the grind mark is right now. Okay. So next step. I'm gonna tell you all the secrets that we do here.
Oh, we like all the secrets. That's the same wheel, Naoto.
What's that?
What wheel is that? It looks like the same one.
Oh, that's a pink.
Oh, it's pink. It looks like the green one. So the pink one he's putting on now is about 1,000 grit or 800 grit.
This one here is because so when you're thinning, really the what you want to do when you are using either those wheels or even just by hand, something that keep that in mind. The coarse wheel, the coarse sharpening, is the key. It's the first stone that you are putting on. You want to make sure you will bring your knife to the thickness that you want. The finer stone will grind your knife a lot slower. So if you won't get to the thickness that you like with the coarse stone, it probably won't get you to the point where you will like with the finer stone. So from here, this pink wheel, which is quite finer than what I was using, it's going to basically take deep scratches and kind of start to do a little bit of polishing action on them. Okay.
Yeah, so because you've gone and thinned it now, so it's where you want it to be, right, Naoto?
Yeah.
So you've thinned it out to where you want it to be, and now you want to take away some of those deep scratches and just start making it look prettier again. Naoto's so much more interested in making his knives pretty again. I think I like the rat rod look. I like my knives to look quite battered. When they get old, I don't mind that they look battered, and I kind of I don't fuss so much about making them pretty. I have, and I probably will again in the future, but I've got some ugly looking knives because I've had them for years and they've just been through the ringer, it looks like, and I kind of like that look for them.
If it's like knife like this, it's nice to bring the original finish back. And I am doing something that I haven't done before, so yeah. it'll be fun.
Naoto, your internet's suffering a bit today. Your internet is suffering a bit today.
I think the phone camera is not as good. It's usually like this app doesn't support it, right? So this main camera should be good, right?
Yeah.
This kind of stops sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, we got some comments here. Jonathan Armstrong says, I'm about 40 minutes north of Toronto, but anywhere along King Street would be good, as it's one of the busiest downtown areas. Would love to join the team when you guys get going in Toronto. Well, that's fun. Look at that. We don't have to hire so many people. I already got one. And Spoon Monkey, talking again about European knives. He says, yeah, if you didn't thin your European knives, they would just get thicker and thicker and thicker. And how do you handle it in the shop? Well, in the shop, I used to have a vertical, when I was in the shop every day and doing all the knives, I had a vertical belt sander, and I took off that fat bit of the heel, of that fat bit of the bolster that goes down to the blade. I would just grind that off mostly with the belt sander, and then I would grind a primary bevel, like a really thin primary bevel, into the knives, and then polish it as best I could with stones, and then usually with automotive sandpaper to make it all shiny again. And then put a Koba on it, and people would be blown away. They'd be like, "Oh my God, this knife works again!" But in the meantime, Naoto or Kasumi would generally sell them a knife as well, and they would just never use their Hinkle again because they had something new now.
The little progress here. I have portable lights, so you can see that the little like wavy. It's a little bit uneven, and the bevel looking part it's kind of hard. Has gone up a bit. Right? It was a little bit narrower. The reason I went...
It was thinner before, right? Now it's gone further up the edge of the blade.
The reason why I went up a little bit farther is that this is really to take the deeper scratches off. So if I see any deeper scratches that was done, unintentionally, this will remove it. That's why I kind of went a little bit higher up there.
Okay. Sean says it's awesome how quickly you can do that with the wheel. I spent an hour last night thinning out one of my knives from the garage sale. I have trouble maintaining such a consistent grind too, but I'm getting much better since I've been observing your guys' videos. Yeah, watch Naoto. He's a bit of a wizard. He knows what he's doing. The funny thing is I taught Naoto 9 years ago how to sharpen knives, or 10 years ago now, I guess. And now he teaches me how to sharpen knives because he's just gone way, way deeper into it than I ever did. I was always very pragmatic. The knives would be sharp, but sometimes they'd look kind of funny. And Naoto can't stand that. So he always made sure they look great. So he's really gone down the sharpening rabbit hole. So it's great that we can hang out on Fridays and sharpen knives. I can't wait till we can do this in person again, Naoto. Because I really like, I learn a lot from these things, which is great.
I like this camera setting though. One person looks at it and I get to show off how the progression and stuff like that.
Yeah, it works pretty good, isn't it?
Even if you come to come here to do the show with me, you should just have the camera like facing you.
Oh yeah. Maybe one day I'll sharpen a knife and you can tell me all the things I'm doing wrong.
There's someone tuning in to its warehouse, so give me 1 second.
Bye, Naoto. So Blank says, when I get bored, I pull out my stones and polish off the patina, and then or mess about with the finger stones. Oh, you got those finger stones? That's great. Those finger stones are really happy to get the polish back on those knives. If anybody doesn't know what finger stones are, they're small. They're small pieces of stone, and you can have your knife here, and you can put the stone on your finger and just rub the stone on the knife. It gives you a lot more. It's just a lot easier to do detailed work like that, and it's a lot easier because you don't have to have. It doesn't. If you're doing it on a big stone, if the knife isn't perfectly flat, you'll get little islands where you can see where it didn't polish. But if you've got the smaller stones, it goes into all the divots, so it does a great job of polishing that way. And Don Penny, who makes much better brisket than Chris Lord, at least that's what he tells me. He says he can't wait for another in-class demos because as much as the videos are nice now, so it is really nice to be in person, right? And Blank said Naoto's not the only one that's been sucked down the rabbit hole of sharpening and then led to the polishing rabbit hole. Nope, this is true.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who's into it and do a much better job than I do, but
Naoto, you got a big fan here called Damon Spector. Damon Spector, yeah. He says he wants t-shirts. He wants Naoto t-shirts.
Oh.
He wants one that has you in a wizard costume. because you're a sharpening wizard, and one that says
I was gonna
now
since we're
toe.
talking about the wizard thingy, like I was supposed to dress up like a wizard today, right?
Naoto, listen. I'm just really pleased that you like the idea that we've called your show the Naoto Nerd Hour. I'm okay that you like that because I named it that when you weren't looking one day.
So good. Okay.
It is good.
Okay. So what I did today, or what I did, is that the two initial sharpenings on those wheels started out with the coarse wheel to grind that, bring that the nice taper back, and use that the pink wheel went up a little bit higher than that the previous stone to make whatchamacallit, to take all deeper scratches off. But the profiles is still good. I should probably do this. It's got the little still nice profile here.
That's helped out quite a bit, the profile, because I saw that knife before when it was flat.
Mm-hmm.
So, good job.
Next step for me on this guy here is to next step. This is the little bit more full restoration that I usually do. So it takes like probably 3 or 4 more steps to bring this knife back in where it is. Usually, if the customer brings and wants that the taper back on, I would actually from here straight up on the sandpaper and blends this blends in. Okay.
Yep.
So I'll show you on the one side. Easiest and it's quick job is that to use like waterproof sandpaper like this, and camera comes a little bit closer, and just do this so that the little bit of because how I do it this way, I'm trying to make the bevel as flat as possible. There's tiny bit of the very like movements, right? So there is always tiny bit of the bumps. This will hide it.
Yeah.
This is great. It just
You know what, Naoto, I've always loved the sandpaper because it's like a poor man's finger stones.
yeah. But because today I'm going to make another bevel, I'm just going to actually sharpen a little bit just along the but probably half-inch from the edge.
And why are you doing that?
I don't know how, if you remember how this Fujiyama looks like.
Yeah, I do.
They try to make it that there is actually a bevel, right? By using that some Sakai technique of
the powder, right?
Yeah, powder and a little metal bar.
Yeah.
So I want to do that again. I want to actually bring that back again. But in order for me to get the really nice kasumi just along the edge, I want to make sure that where the kasumi is going to be, I want to make it flat so that it looks much nicer. Hope it makes sense.
It makes sense. When you've got a second, we've got 2 sharpening questions that are a bit unrelated that people would like to ask.
Doing it here.
So let me know when you got a chance for a couple of different questions that are unrelated, sort of what you're doing.
Absolutely. You can just like that.
Yeah. Right now, okay. Yeah. Well, the first one is, what do you think is a good budget, low to mid grade? I guess JNat blank. Don't say JNat. Say natural sharpening stone. What is a good budget, low to mid grit natural stone?
Sometimes we get them the Tamba Naoto, the medium grits around 2,000 to 3,000 grits are great. We do have very inexpensive these guys here. I think it's Tsushima from Nagasaki. These ones are pretty good. I found it's a little bit coarser than the Alto, so if you could find the Alto, that'd be great. I'm always trying to source the Alto out, so whenever we can, we'll bring those in. Yeah, and I'm looking at some of the natural stones.
He says he already has a Tamba Auto.
Oh, nice. Tamba Auto is great. It's like a little bit finer than the Tsushima to, and it's good. It gives you a really nice finish on it. Medium grit stone is hard, especially when it comes to natural stones. The lots of mountains have closed. So
That's actually something really interesting to talk about.
The closure.
Yes, because I don't think anybody knows what the situation is with Japanese natural stones.
Yeah, the lots of mountains, they stopped mining those natural stones. One of the reasons is that there aren't many young people to take over the business or take care of the mountain. So that's really one of the big thing about that particular industry. Also, they started to take the better ones first, and as they go to the different stratas and stuff like that, they were selling those natural stones that was considered to be not as good quality back then. With the but because the reality becomes such different price point, I guess, than it was.
Another question here, Naoto,
Hmm?
from our man D Hop, who I see his name pop up on lots of things. How do I put a mirror polish on the exposed coarse steel of my stainless clad Sanmai knives, yet make a Kasumi finish above the core to the shinogi?
Yeah. The depends on, well, I guess you want to choose your stone pretty good. Like there are some stones that does that job really good and easy. For example, the ones we sell, I think we still have Naniwa Superstone series is pretty good. The 3000 or 5000, they will leave really nice Kasumi finish, as well as to almost leave the the leaves almost a mirror polish on the edge. So like what you want to do is to use something slightly softer, muddier stone to do that kind of job. Okay.
What would be another good stone for that, Naoto?
We're waiting on the shipment, but the Kensho K is good. It's much thicker stone. Kensho K series, 3000 or 6000 we carry.
And before that stone, I always like to use the Knifewear 1000 grit stone before that.
Yeah, the Knifewear.
Because I think that lays down a really good foundation.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's before going to the mirror, the 1000 is going to be really nice Kasumi.
Yeah, if you want that really shiny edge and the really smoky coarse steel, if you want that Kasumi look, yeah, like I said, I like to lay down the first layer with that 1000 Knifewear stone because I think it does a great job of starting the look. And then you go to that 3000 Nanawa Superstone. What else? What's that Nanawa Superstone called now, though? It's got a different name, doesn't it?
Superstone, yeah, still Superstone.
Oh, still Superstone. Okay. Nanawa changed all their stones a couple times in the last few years, and I honestly, I didn't bother keeping up. I'm bad that way.
Packaging is kind of weird.
The packaging's terrible.
Okay.
They improved it by making the packaging worse.
Yeah, I know.
Finger stones. Finger stones says blank blank to give you that Han Kasumi finish.
Yeah.
or do the mirror first and then come back with something super soft for the cladding. A natural, specific uchigomori would be good. How do you feel about that technique, Naoto?
Uchigomori is great. It will leave the really nice kasumi finish. But the thing you have to be a little bit careful about uchigomori is that you will not get as mirror of the polish as the you would expect. Synthetic stones, we did cover a little bit natural stones in the last week's thing. But if you actually, I had a drawing. Natural stones generally won't leave mirror polish because each grain are in different sizes. So when the light comes in, they kind of reflects all over the map rather than a one direction as the synthetic stones are good with, right? Because synthetic stones, because the grains are all even, the light comes in one direction and reflects back in the other, where the because the grain size are the same.
And Sean Buckle, who you're working on his knife there, he said he finally got around to picking up the Knifewear 1000, and it's one of his favorites. He likes it better than his Arashiyama 1000 stone for blending out high points. I've actually never used an Arashiyama 1000. Have you, Naoto?
I haven't.
I've used the 6 or the 8 a lot, but I've never used the 1000.
I've used the 8000, softer 8000, and I've used the King 1000.
Oh, well, how do you feel about the King 1000? I've never liked that stone.
It's okay. It's it's like old 91 1000 with the brown look.
Yeah, I always thought the King 1000 was just a bit like what Dairy Queen is to ice cream. Similar, but not super great. Oh, I'm being a snob, aren't I, Naoto?
With ice creams, yeah.
About ice cream and about sharpening stones. Sorry.
Okay. So after I finished the bevel and made it slightly more flatter, I'm using the sandpaper to blend that a little bit more, blend that in bit. This is not the finishing touch yet, but if I want to actually make it quite almost like perfect, I will I'll look for a little bit of imperfection here, and sometimes go back on the stone and just that's that part up.
So what are you looking for when you say you're looking for imperfection? What? How do you see that? What is it?
Tiny scratches left on the blade.
There you go.
Yeah, tiny scratches. And if you see that the scratches from the first stone, go back to the second, the wheel or something to get that back. Okay. Alrighty.
Well, there we go. It sounds like Sean agrees with us on this one. Not that I've used the Arashiyama, but I know what he's talking about here. He says the Arashiyama 1000 is a resinoid stone, but it's too soft. It's prone to getting gouged if you're not careful.
Right.
And I know that. I've worked with stones that do that. He says he thinks the Knifewear one is the perfect in between to blend without being too soft.
Exactly. The Knifewear stone has the really good balance. It is softer stone, to be quite honest, but it's not soft like a resinoid, like the Superstone series or the Arashiyama 1000, so that it doesn't gouge them in as easy, and it blends it really well.
Well, Naoto and I worked with, we worked a long time to get those, the Knifewear stones that we liked. I'm quite pleased with the set that we got, that we have. They're the ones that I use the most, actually. So there you go. Um, there's a guy named Nathan Garrow. He's got a lot to say here today, Naoto. One thing I want to say about Nathan Garrow is that he generally does this show with you on Fridays, doesn't he?
Yeah, eh? Yeah.
But now he's watching. I guess he just misses us or misses you. But he says, how do you tell what stones the scratches are from?
Ah,
He says he struggles when moving from 220 to 1000, knowing which one.
well, the
Which one left the scratches?
right. Generally, the pretty obvious scratches on the blade are you generally from the Coarse stone, right? Like the 220 or the green wheel, and if it's like visible, that's something that you want to work on with the little bit of finer stone. And beauty of doing something like this is that you get to kind of test it out and go back to the stone that you think it's scratched and come back to it. That's really pretty much the advice that I have.
I also find that when you're trying to remove 220 scratches with a 1000, you probably just need about 5 more strokes with the 1000.
Yeah.
When you think you're done, just give it 5 or 10 more strokes, and you're probably much closer at that point.
All right. So I blended out pretty okay. There are some few scratches, but it was a little bit more rougher on the surface area here. From here, what I'm going to do is no, here I'm gonna use this Kensho Super Soft Resinoid Stone 3000 to try to bring that what we call it the Kasumi finish. Kasumi is where you polish the. Oh, nice. Have you used it?
This is crazy, Naoto.
I have
This is crazy. So, just to interrupt for a bit, Sean Buckle is saying, now I just need to get the Knifewear 4000, the Knifewear 8000. That 8000 will change your day, it'll change your sharpening for sure. I guarantee it. A couple more Kensho stones, and then a couple more Masashi knives, and the Ul Sakai Sumi Kobanka.
So it's kind of hard.
And he's
just gonna get the light here. So as you can kind of see, there's start to see that little polish along the edge here.
Look at that! Look at that! That's huge.
I'm going to do that on all the way here. Okay.
Dude, that looks fantastic.
Anyways,
so what stone is that again?
This is Kensho K 3000.
Oh man, the colors are so weird. It looks green today to me.
It is green.
Kensho.
The K.
I thought they were all white.
No, that's different line.
I don't think I've seen that one in person then.
Probably you have, but the
I haven't used it. I know that for sure.
No.
Oh, this whole thing where I have to stay away from the warehouse and stuff. This sucks, Naoto. I can't wait. I say that I'm kind of coughed today. It was just because my house is really dry. It's
really dry, like everywhere.
It's so dry in Calgary right now. It's minus 30 every day and so dry. Blech. Anyway, Sean, here is your knife. Here is your Sakai Ul Kobanka.
I have a 240 myself. It's great.
You have the 240 too?
I have 240. I couldn't wait. So as soon as it came to the warehouse, I'm like,
I love the polished spine.
I know, right?
Right, and I love the polished choil there. It is so cool. And look at how high it's ground now, to my God. It's so sharp. So I've kind of accidentally,
Yeah.
I might have accidentally got two Naoto.
Oh,
I might have accidentally got the 240 as well.
the 240 I was using to cut the daikon radish with it. It's great. It doesn't like, you know, break the daikon in halfway, which oftentimes the what's happens, right? Or the carrots, like it was just cutting carrots so smooth. Okay, my goal of me doing it right now is to get the nice polish just along the edge here. It's almost there. Sorry, I know Kevin's showing that the nice.
That's okay. I got rid of it now.
I will.
The handle is oak, Sean.
Yeah, it's
I don't think walnut's strong enough to be a mono wood handle. I think walnut would crack possibly, but the oak is definitely strong enough for that.
and it's been lacquered too, right? So it's got a nice coating on the outside.
Mm.
But it's clear lacquer, so it's not like glow, like it doesn't. It's not like shiny.
No, it's everything about this knife I think is understated. It's refined but still understated. I think it's a classy knife.
Yeah.
I accidentally took two of them home.
Yeah. You know
Sorry, guys.
the sharpener Maruyama-san. He's really young. Like for the blacksmith, like on the sharpener, he's like 40 something, but he only has he's very talented. Let's say put it this way, because he's only been sharp doing that type of work for about 5-6 years by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Where most people start doing it after 10, 20 years. But the quality of the work that he does, and the beveling and koba and everything, it's just so.
The grind on these knives is perfect.
Yeah, I know.
Like I don't look at it and I go, oh, he could have done better. I just look at it and go, how did he do that?
Yeah.
I think they're stunning.
And the koba, the micro bevel, oftentimes those Sakai people leaves that the micro bevel very rough and not as sharp as it could be. Moriyama-san did actually really good job actually doing polishing really good, and the edge was really nice. It's usable edge, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't have to mess with it at all.
Alrighty. So this point here, I did polish up the just along the edge. Just polish up trying to get the almost like mirror just along the edge here.
Beautiful.
This is what I'm going to do. Because the look of this knife and how the knife maker attained the finish is the I don't know, for those of you I don't know if you've ever seen how they do. Like we've seen, like Kevin and I know how, but I don't know if any viewers have seen how they do it. But here's a little bit trick. What they have is that this metal bar has a little carve. And for the single bevel knives, they put that underneath of the metal, and that kind of usually goes along with the shinogi line. And they have the little the wood, and use the usually the magnolia wood, and use that whatchamacallit the little polishing powder, and they rub it on top of it to get the kasumi on them. Make sense? But we don't
makes sense to me.
we don't have that kind of stuff. But what I thought of doing today, I'm looking for what I thought of it today is to use the another knife. I need this.
What are you saying, Naoto?
I will use another knife to...
Ah, I see what you mean. Yeah, to describe the piece of steel that's on there.
Yeah.
Or are you going to use it like that?
use it like this.
Well, that's kind of clever, isn't it?
I'm gonna actually work this and move that little bit and that.
That should work.
Yeah, and I'm looking for the little 1,000 finger stone that I usually use. I thought I brought it.
So I just put the link up. I don't know if you can get the link off of there, but I put the link up for that that knife, the Kobunka I was just holding up. And Sean said he got the Sakai Shiroichi Gyuto.
It's the same. It's the white carbon steel and stainless clad one that we had it for garage sale.
Oh yeah. I didn't get one of those. They sold out. Anyway, he says it's almost so nice he doesn't want to use it.
That's
John,
really
use it. Use it. You'll be so much happier. And Kyle says, I almost pulled the trigger on a Tanaka Kobunka. I think that is crazy good, but I just bought a pair of Okubo shears.
Sure.
And Damon, who wants the Naoto shirts, says he's got the idea. He wants a Naoto shirt where you look like Bob Ross with a big afro, and you're painting a knife, saying, "Ah, oh, cute little knife, happy little." I'm gonna put a little happy Hamon on it.
So you see what I'm doing here?
Don't cut yourself. My God, that is a terrible technique, my friend. No, don't. There's going to be blood today.
Is that the you see here? It's pretty clean line.
It is a really clean line.
Yeah. Just like improvising, right? But it works actually pretty well.
He says he's seen, Blank says he's seen people do it with a piece of wood they dip in the natural stone grit. We used to do it with a cork. I've never done it with wood. I've done it with a cork for sure.
Yeah, cork is good. Wood
I like the cork because it's quite flexible.
Yeah. Cork is very traditional. No, sorry, the wood is very traditional in Japan, right? The in Sakai they even have the wooden what do you call it? The wooden wheel, like the sharpening wheel.
Yeah, or the frayed bamboo. I like the wheels that are made with the broken up and frayed bamboo around the edge that they use for polishing. And Blank says, I drink your milkshake. I don't know what that means. What does that mean, Naoto?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. And Sean says he doesn't like taking his knife to work because he thinks it's like driving a Ferrari to work. Mm-hmm. If I had a Ferrari, I would drive it to work.
So Sean, this is what I was aiming for. It's like almost like fake kind of,
Yeah.
But
fake Kasumi.
Not a fake, but fake shinogi. Let's put it this way.
Oh, Naoto, that was a There Will Be Blood reference. I only said there will be blood because I thought you were going to bleed, but I forgot that's the name of a film. But I didn't see the film, so I don't know. Apparently, they drink frozen dairy products.
But yeah, this technique is good to get the makes it look like Fujiyama.
Fun.
I'm gonna have to figure out the other side. This is single bevel knife, so.
Oh no, you're gonna cut yourself.
Oh, here.
No, you're gonna cut yourself. Talking about cutting oneself and bleeding, Chris Lord and I tomorrow are doing a pineapple race.
Oh,
So
fun.
tomorrow at 2 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 4 o'clock Eastern, Chris Lord and I are talking knives, doing Japanese Knife 101. Ask us any questions you want, but tune in and see Chris and I racing pineapples. So we're going to have to peel them, take the eyes out, cut them, core them, and then slice them so they're all similar sized, and we're having a race to see who can do it fastest. Now, Chris thinks I have a huge advantage because I used to cut probably 15 or 20 pineapples every week at this catering job I had. But Chris also doesn't understand that was 30 years ago I did that job. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I know how to do it, but I'm not fast anymore. And I like to win, so I'm afraid that one of us is going to bleed tomorrow. So there you go.
So here, Sean, like it's almost looks like a brand new to you. No? Yes? Hopefully. I looks to me it's pretty good. And what I would do from here, this is the aesthetic part. I've thin it out, but the last little bit was the aesthetic, right?
Naoto, show that again. I can't believe you did that. Holy shit, dude. That's fantastic. That's really crazy, man. I can't believe you did that.
I had this idea in my.
I can't believe. No, hold on. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you even thought of it, but I can't believe you nailed it.
I had this idea when the knife came in, and I'm like, and I couldn't remember how this looked like, so I googled it, and I'm like, oh, that's I know how they do it, and this is what I'm going.
Because they sandblast it, right?
No, they use those like a stick and do this.
Oh, they do use this. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But I'm like, this is not good. I'm just gonna have the knife over and make it look like this. So.
Fighting Usyk says, I can't believe Naoto did it in an hour. And I'm like, dude, Naoto would have done it in 20 minutes if he wasn't explaining it. I can't believe it. I also can't believe it took you a whole hour, too. You're going slow, buddy.
Okay, so from here, I'm going to put the last edge on. These knives are sharpened at 15 degrees. It's a really basic, back to basic, I guess, right? About here, you could probably do a bit more, but I like to do. For those of you who watches our regular sharpening video, like the sharpening class videos on Thursday evenings with the Owen and Francis, it's pretty good. I'm sure they do coin tricks and stuff, right? So if you are
they do coin tricks. Here, look, it's in this hand. Ooh, where did it go? You mean like magic tricks?
Yes, we should do that too. Actually, it's fun.
Well, now I'm going to put something up here that you're going to like. Look at this.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. I've made a lot of great decisions. Most of them were hiring good, smart people. Sean says maybe he's going to make some kind of a jig out of cardboard now to do that. I like doing it with a single bevel, with an old Deba that you've got kicking around, because I like the danger aspect of it.
Use something a little bit harder, because to get the nice clear line, I kind of messed up on this side here because it was the other side. This side is really nice and clean.
Naoto, you can't even tell where you messed up. It looks great. So just stop being Naoto, okay? And just accept that it's fantastic. Fighting Usyk says, he says, what are you going to do with the pineapples? And my plan with the pineapples is that Chris is the one that gets cut, and Chris cries because he loses the race. That's my plan. I'll probably just eat it like this, where you pick one up in your fingers and eat it. I'm pretty boring about pineapples. I just like to eat them.
If you grill them, it's pretty good. Although it's it's minus 20 outside tomorrow.
I can grill anything outside. If you can dress for skiing now, so you can dress for grilling. My God. I rode my bike today, you know.
What?
Yeah, I didn't go far.
Oh,
But after this, I'm going to go downtown. And friends of mine down by the Lougheed House are having a big fire. So we're going to have a fire and drink beer publicly in public.
Big fire pit, right? At the Lougheed House.
Yeah. By the skating rink.
Nice.
We had some questions here. Well, here's a fun thing. Looks like our man D-Hop says it looks like an expensive merkin. I don't know what he's referring to, but there you go. Do you know what a merkin is, Naoto?
No.
Oh, well, I'll tell you later.
Yeah, okay.
AJ.
Being an ESL kid makes it a little bit difficult, and sometimes it's good.
That's okay. Merkin's not a common word.
Okay.
AJ says, what's the major difference between Ulsakai and Hitohiro? They seem to use the same blacksmiths. And this is actually an excellent question because you can really see what I think is the big difference and why we like Sakai Ul or Ulsakai.
It's the kind of brand that try to source out a lot of knives from a lot of different places. They do definitely deal with the Yoshikazu as well as some of the blacksmith. What I like about the Ulsakai, and the reason why we decided to work with them is that, again, one, Maruyama-san is a sharpener that only works for Ulsakai, and he can be very flexible of what he can do. He's relatively young, but he's very, very talented. And he was this Ulsakai Sumi line is basically collaboration with with Knifewear and the Ulsakai. They were asking for some ideas because they are one of the last ones to actually get into the knife. Not making. They've been around a little bit, but they're one of the last ones to come out, I guess, to the international market. So they wanted to have a little bit of idea. So I was like, you know what? Kuroichi is hot, but don't just leave it to Kuroichi. We wanted the little finesse of the Sakai having the spine polish and the choil polish. Not many actually people would do that. A lot of Kuroichis.
No.
Yeah, there are a lot of Kurozomes as well. Kurozome is the dyed. So if you see that the Sakai black finish knives with the little grinding mark on that the hira or the flat part, that is Kurozome that's been dyed. They try to look like and the Kurozome knives often have such clean shinogi here because black finish. The Kuroichi, I really like them. Well, we really like them. One, it shows how the blacksmith forges them very clearly. Because by polishing the hira or this here, they could control how it tapers here and stuff like that by polishing it, by grinding it, right? Where leaving those black finish on the side is really will truly tell you how good the blacksmith is. So we asked, say, Yoshikazu Tanaka-san, I've actually was fortunate enough right before the COVID, and I was fortunate enough, Kevin, I have to take you there, but
yes,
fortunate enough to see him in person and saw those knife blanks sitting at his workshop. It was like, oh, that's quite a bit different from what I've seen from Sakai. So that's what I really liked it. So it's different.
Well, it's great that they've got a young guy in there with some super skills to grind and polish and sharpen, and it's great that he's flexible, right? Because these old guys aren't flexible. They just do what they like. They do the one thing they know how to do and just do it, and then that's the end of that. They're not nearly as flexible. So I really like that about Ulsakai.
Yes.
We got some comments here. Blank Blank says, I have, excuse me, I have a broken up Suihiro 1000 that I think would be perfect for trying this out. I know Naoto did it without cutting himself, but I'll probably end up cutting myself. Yeah, that happens.
But yeah, so here good.
Hey,
Yeah.
James Wang wants to know, it's a weird one and a fun one. What's your favorite knife shape to sharpen?
Oh, nice shape to sharpen. I have some like knife shapes that I don't particularly like to sharpen, but at the
Oh,
as a challenge, like the usubas are quite a bit challenging. I had the Sean actually sent me the Sassan's what you call it, the usuba for sharpening as well. I did a okay, good job, but a little bit challenge for sure.
do you know what I don't like is flexible slicers. There's that Henkel. Henkel makes that really popular, flexible, and it's got grats and edges. Like it's got the
Yeah, yeah,
fluted edge, and it's got a round tip, and it's flexible, and it's a totally flat blade.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's a bitch to sharpen. It's so hard. It's so flexible and so long and so straight. Like you really see the mistakes you made quite
Yeah,
easily.
yeah. I'm trying to make the line a lot straighter than I made.
Now, you're killing it.
But yeah,
Sean
harder.
Sean Buckle says Mariyama
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Sakai Ul
yeah.
was trained by Morihiro-san, if he
Oh,
remembers correctly.
no wonder, because the heat is really, really good.
Yeah, all of their work's impeccable. So there you go.
The Morihiro-san is great. He is the kind of guru for double bevel sharpening, and well, he's known for his techniques, and he's good. He is the guy who taught who is it the not taught a lot of people, like a lot of guys in the Sakai area, like his son, and also the Myojin-san, who does this work right now, the Fujiyama series, as well as Tadokoro from the Tosa that we get the knives from.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see him in person. It was unfortunate that the right before I went to see the those people in Sakai, he had a stroke.
Oh no.
So yeah, he is not the sharpening anymore.
Here now, so AJ's got a question.
Yeah.
He says, is there a process where a blacksmith can make the karochi permanent and won't wear away?
You know what the kurochi is? Kurochi is the black oxide steel coming out from the what we call it, what you call it, the quenching process. So when the oxide steel goes been polished or removed, there's always some other steels underneath. So I don't know what you mean by permanent. Like the regular wear and tear will definitely gonna remove that polish.
The only way to make it permanent would be to blacken the steel all the way through, and that's just not a thing that can happen. But putting some lacquer on it, like Murata-san does, or like the Mizu,
Helps.
or that new Fujimoto line that's coming out. So a bit of that lacquer, it's not lacquer, but I don't know what it is. But that offers some protection and that prolongs the karochi, but it certainly doesn't make it
No.
permanent. No. I guess you could just color it in with a Sharpie.
Permanent, right? Well, they say permanent marker.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible.
No. Bright Newsick says, non-sharpening question. I'm lusting after a Shibata Kotetsu, but I would need it to be a daily driver. How sensitive is it to chips, etc.? It's sensitive and it chips easily. It's really a thin knife. If you're looking for something that's a daily driver, especially if you're a chef or you're a little heavy-handed, get a Masashi.
Masashi Koi is
Masashi.
Musashi Koi is great. Kimura is slightly thinner, but Koi is great.
Or the Kuro shoe.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been rotten to my Kuro shoe. I've been absolutely rotten to it, and it's fine.
Yeah. Only part that's really vulnerable is the tip, though. I've chipped the Kuroshu 210 tip before.
I'm a pro at chipping tips, Naoto. That's why I'm so good at repairing them. Get a Musashi. Get a Sugimori. Get a Sugimori. That's a total daily driver, and rugged.
Yeah.
Get the Fujimoto Nishiji.
Fujimoto series are great. It's both Nishiji and the Hammer Tones. They're both great.
Yeah, those are great knives for daily drivers if you're going to be a bit rough on them.
Yeah, I think I brought up that.
And he said, "Ha ha, I knew you were going to say that because I said Kuroshu." But it's just because it's the right answer.
But yeah, this is good. I may just gonna actually. I may work a little bit myself to get that because I think I went a little bit of like this side is great. The other side, it went up a little bit farther up, so I may just gonna try a little bit.
It just looks like the Coarse steel is a little bit off center. Don't worry about it. I like it. I like the look, Naoto.
This one is great. It doesn't have any one part that exposed much more carbon steel or the core steel than others. Sometimes you have to be a little bit careful. When you look at a picture, some people will say otherwise, but I will argue that if you see one part of the steel that's exposed way more than others, you might want to think about it again. Purchasing it.
Listen, Naoto, you're supposed to tell them to subscribe.
Oh yeah, subscribe. We have a lot of videos, like we have a lot of sharpening videos, we have a lot of blacksmithing videos. I am supposed to be doing lots of translation work for the interviews that we did during the beginning of the pandemic. So we can just edit them, have the subtitles so that people can watch a little bit nicer instead of like an hour. These guys are coming. Those videos are coming up. So please subscribe and check us out on check us out the YouTube. We've been putting a lot of effort to get the really nice content out. So lots of cool stuff. As Kevin mentioned, we are doing that the pineapple cutting challenge tomorrow, and yeah, we're doing a lot of fun stuff. So
there will be blood, I guarantee. Also, Naoto, you don't know this, but I've been working with Jeevan and Nathan and Chris Armitage over the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something I've wanted to do now for a year, but we're finally in a spot, Naoto. We're doing a TV show.
Oh.
We're going to do a monthly TV show, Naoto. It's going to have live stuff. Well, live, it's going to have live stuff. It's going to have pre-recorded stuff. It's going to be, it's going to be fun. And it's going to be hosted by Chris Lord and you and myself.
Yeah, I need a lot more nicer lighting. And
don't worry, it's all coming. I went shopping today. I bought a bunch of stuff. So there's new lights, there's new there's new equipment coming. It's going to be a monthly television show about knives called Sharp Knives Rock. It's coming in April, and it's going to be monthly. We've already got some of it shot, to be honest.
Oh, nice.
And Naoto, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have so much fun. There's challenges. There's knife versus knife. There's visiting other chefs and seeing their knife collection. There's hanging out with Corey at Acme Meats. Am I wearing an Acme Meat hat? No, I'm not. There's hanging out with Corey to learn how to cut down a side of beef. Lots of fun stuff. And there's going to be a sharpening competition. It's going to be shown on YouTube. It's going to be a YouTube monthly program, and then we're going to drop it on the same day each week. And then, as soon as we drop it, as soon as it go live, after the show, we're going to go on a live program after and do like the after party.
Nice.
So you can watch the show and then join us for the after party and then ask me anything then. I'm pretty excited. It's going to be awesome. Naoto, you've got a lot of work to do for it. Sorry, bud.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, yeah, so subscribe to the YouTube, Knifewear YouTube channel. That's where it's going to be. First one hits the shelves in April. Naoto, part of the first one or second, this is part of the second one, we're doing the sharpening competition between me and Mike. So Mike and I are going to sharpen a knife. You're going to give us two knives that are identical and probably damaged. Mike and I are going to sharpen them. And then whoever has the best sharpening gets to watch Wes from 8 Ounce Coffee make coffee out of the sharpening water for Mike, the loser.
Ooh.
It's going to be great. Jeevan and Owen are going now to make a bunch of music. So they're recording music tonight or tomorrow. Oh, it's tonight. It's Friday. No, it's tonight, Friday? Yeah, it's today. So they're going to the studio today to record some music for the show.
Oh, yeah.
So expect a bit of rock and roll. Like it'll be Owen's tenor guitar, a bass, and some drums. It should be awesome.
1 second. I got a little question about the ebony handle that we have. I'll be right.
The question is, Naoto, can I see that ebony handle we talked about? So apparently AJ and Naoto have been talking privately about an ebony handle. So we'll see what this one is. I don't know what it is. Do you guys know when Masashi shirts will be back in stock? I didn't know they're out of stock. Naoto, did you know Masashi shirts are out of stock?
You may be able to order them just online shop, and we'll have them printed and send it.
I think we're having them printed to order, Sean. I think you can just order it on the Knifewear website, and it will be printed
I'll include
locally.
The T-shirt for you though, like red Masakage shirt will be coming.
That's a cool handle. When did we get that handle? Can I have that handle, Naoto? When did we get that?
So so if the Adam decides to go for it, but we can get those if you want.
It's for a 210?
It's for 210, yeah.
Yeah, Fighting Usyk thinks you're great. He says, I'm dropping this idea on you that you're going to host a TV show, and you're like, yeah, that's neat. Hold on, I got a question. Michael says, do you have another handle like that? Maybe Michael wants one too.
We can order, like we only have one, and Adam, the AJ is already on them, but we can get them if we.
Why don't you just get a stack of them next time? Because I want one. Because I actually know the knife I want to put that on. It's this one right here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. More and more people are using the handle, eh?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I think it looks cool, and I think it looks cool, and I know why people like it. I get it, but I want something interesting on that. The ebony is interesting.
But I used it, and that was actually, we feel really good on my 240.
You know what? It feels all right to me too. I actually thought I might take a bit of a sandpaper to it. Because it feels a bit sharp still. Like I think I just might want to take the little sanding sponge and just take the the corners, just take the corners off real gently. But I like to dork around with everything I buy. I like to modify everything I've bought. Now, do you know that?
Adam, just reply to the email that we were talking about, so we can go for it. Okay. Alrighty. Well, it actually was a lot faster than I anticipated, especially on that job there. Some news. We have been getting a lot of newer knives, ones that the Kevin hasn't seen. I'll bring a few. Bring out a few things to show off.
Bring out a few knives. Listen, I also have been ordering knives now for garage sale. I've been texting with people, and I ordered a bunch of Makoto Kurosaki coreless Damascus knives, which look so cool. I've ordered some. I've got 3 Yanagibas coming from Kurosaki. There are 3 Kurosaki Yanagibas that are Aogami and mirror polished in Sakai. So he sent some knives to Sakai to get ground and polished. He sent them about a year ago and they just came back. So I've bought 3 of them. I think there's a couple more Kagura hunting knives and one of them's really big. So if you're into Kagura hunting knives that are about, the blade's about that long, like
We have some
6 inches, I've got one coming. And I've got some rainbow. Dude, what's that? What is that?
Nigara.
That's cool.
R2 Nigara Kurochi with the hammer finish.
Did you say that's R2?
Yeah.
Show me that again, Naoto. I need that.
We have a 210 Kiritsuke, 210 Gyuto, 240 Gyuto, Tsujihiki, Santoku, Nakiri, and yeah, whole line there.
Dude.
It is available online right now. Picture's not there yet, so for those
there you go.
you can.
Here, Naoto, what is that? I'm gonna write this in here. What did you say? It was
Nigara, Nigara.
Nigara-san. R2, you said, right?
Okay.
There, I just put that into the comments.
For those of you who's fan of Mazaki, we got this back. His shape.
Oh, that's a wild shape, man.
His shapes start to become like really wild and different. 240 mil Gyuto, but it's like, look how the profile is like so weird.
What? That's Mizaki, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Naoto, I need that knife, Naoto.
Yeah.
I need both of those, but I really need that. That's insane.
It's got a Migaki. We have Migaki, and so is Kurochi and Shiji.
So this one is from Mizaki-san.
Yeah. It's got really, like, it's very Sanjo.
What's it called? What's it called?
Mazaki?
Mizaki, what is the knife called? Or how can I identify it?
You can type Mazaki on our website, and we only have like Migaki.
I want to put it. Okay, well, I'm just going to put Mizaki-san then up on the.
Yeah, they should be able to find it. Oh, and have you seen this?
No. Oh, Naoto, are you going to get that crazy Damascus knife? Oh, ho, ho. Naoto's bringing something really cool. This is a blacksmith who's an artist, an absolute artist. And not only are his knives stunning, but they work like crazy too. I think we got one of these. We tried to get 2, but we got 1, which is a problem because I want it horribly.
Is
that the one? Is that the one I'm thinking of, Naoto?
I'm gonna start from something different. So let's start from. Well, Sakai Takayuki has been working with the blacksmiths to make different shapes and some weird shapes. They made the 180 millimeter. They call it To Bunka. Forged by the Kenji Togashi-san. He's pretty good double guy who makes the double bevel knives. Our Honyaki 210 is made by him, but it's a really nice thin edge to it. White number 2, no stainless, but it's a really nice like this.
Yeah, so that's from Sakai Takayuki. I'm into that. I think anybody who wants a tank that can't seem to get one might be interested in that.
And the Kevin's mentioned, it's not what he ordered, but the we have few Rainbow Damascus from Rainbow, actually Bunka from Saji.
Oh, because I ordered other Rainbow Damascus.
And we did 180. We have Bunka with ironwood handle.
That's from Saji-san, so I'm going to put that up there. I'm really behind on the titles, guys. Sorry. What's the next thing, Naoto?
This is that knife.
From Hashimoto?
Yeah. Shoichi Hashimoto is the artist. I've seen his work actually in person. Kevin, you've seen his artwork at the one of the knife show in Seki, but he wasn't really a kitchen knife maker. He's never really get into the kitchen knife. But this company convinced him to make a kitchen knife. So this is made by Shoichi Hashimoto with the like soft iron with the wrought iron for the outside. Coarse steel. It's very interesting. He uses white number 2 and blue number 2 layers. Different type of steel. It's etched, but
Oh my God, you can't see it, Naoto.
it's like super dark.
Try the other camera. Try the other camera.
Well, now this camera is better now, hey?
It is. I'll move that one over.
Oh, I guess when it becomes...
Hey, don't move it so much. Just stop and let it focus. It's not focusing. There we go. A little bit.
Oh.
You can see the core Damascus is one color and then the cladding Damascus is the other. That is madness. Whoa. I really want that, Naoto. Can you get one for me too, please?
I'll try to get the hands on the next one.
Try to get about 14 more.
Okay. It's great though. It's actually for kitchen knife. It's really well made.
I was surprised by how well it was, like how thin and how nice it was forged and straightened and ground. I was shocked because I expected it to be not so good, to be honest.
Yeah.
I expected it to be all style, no substance.
Exactly, right?
But it is both. That is a crazy good knife.
I know. He made pizza cutter using that kind of same steel as well. But
James wants to know if there's a price tag on that.
it's oh wait, it is still. It's on the back end. I have to double check. Okay.
It's not cheap.
It's not on the website yet, as we are still waiting on the picture, right? Because it's nice to have picture, because otherwise we can't keep anything, right? So the Shoichi Hashimoto Damascus Gyuto 230 millimeters. This one is 3541.
So 3,500 small Canadian dollars. Now, we've got an interesting question here.
I'll be right there.
And it's going to require some tact. Naoto,
yes,
what happened with Masashi and Yoshikane?
Well,
It seems that my two favorite blacksmiths, Masashi and Mizaki, are from Yoshikane. Are there any others that make blades like them?
Who is it? That guy. Matsumura-san is from Yoshikane as well, right? Matsumura.
Sorry, who? Oh yeah, from Tomo. Tomo at Tojiro Atelier makes the Sugimori knives.
Yeah, he's from there as well. What happened? It's just really different thought of making knives and being a blacksmith, I guess. The Yoshikane wanted to become a little bit more like mass produced. They wanted to have a little bit more shortcut of making knives and stuff. Where Masashi-san is like it's like true craftsman that he disagrees with where his brother was going. That's why he started his own workshop. So there's a lot about the blacksmith. The Masaki-san as well. He learned a lot of skills from the Masashi-san and the Kazomi-san's uncle. He was a legend almost, right? In that region of kitchen knives. But because that where the Yoshikane was going, a lot of blacksmiths wanted to start his own workshop, including Mazaki. Tomo-san is actually a really fortunate one because he learned a lot of skills. Now he has his own workshop in the Tojiro Atelier, and because he has a really big backing, right, on the Tojiro, the big company, he can do a lot of. Or he's not producing as many, but he can do a lot of stuff without a lot of like, I guess like financial pressure, right? Because he's hired by the company.
Yeah, and he was given a blank checkbook to go and make the forge and the facility he wanted. And it's great. Like his where he does the hammering is cool, as in the temperature is cool for one, and two, it's almost it's as quiet as a spring hammer can be. So he's got sound deadening on the walls. He's got a whole wall that opens up to let in fresh air. And then all the grinding and sharpening areas are brand new.
Yeah,
and much more than they need, which means they can expand, right? I think he's set up a really professional shop. It's nice.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so like that's what it is. The lots of Yoshikane knives, they look really cool. Most of these became like they buy the blank that's already been like shaped in that shape, and they often use that sharpening technique. Yeah, it's a secret.
Yeah, and there's some smoke and mirrors going on. Anyway, we decided to go with people that didn't want to mass produce and they wanted to really be involved in the artistry of blacksmithing. So that's where we've gone. As we've followed Masashi and Mazaki.
Yeah. Yeah. Where were we? I was showing some like super cool knives and stuff.
Yeah. Well, is it time to start your weekend, Naoto?
Almost like 30. I will probably gonna take a good picture of the Sean's knife, and I'll finish up my Instagram post today because it turned out pretty good. I think it's great for my
Naoto. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know it's fantastic. It's Naoto. You nailed it.
You
nailed it, buddy.
Nicer than the I'd expect it. So yeah, it's great.
You nailed it. You nailed it. Listen, guys, thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to us. Thanks for watching Naoto knock it out of the park today. Wow. We've got tomorrow, Chris Lord and I are having pineapple races at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 4 p.m. Western, or 4 p.m. Eastern Time, sorry. So we're going to have pineapple races, and I heard through the grapevine that he's planning on cheating. So that's fun. I also think he's going to bleed. I've also sharpened my Kobayashi Damascus R2 knife for the job. Super thin, and it's a 240, so it's got the length to take care of it. I think it's the perfect knife. Yep. So that's good. On Tuesday and Thursday next week, or is it's just Tuesday next week, because the Ottawa shop is opening again right away here. So on Tuesday, we're doing Japanese Knife 101, and there's no more Thursday Japanese Knife 101 because Chris actually has a job again. But there's always the Thursday night sharpening with Francis and Owen in Vancouver. There's the Friday night or Friday afternoon, this show with Naoto.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to continue on having a Saturday live show too, but I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. We'll see. To be determined. Yeah. And starting in April, we've got Sharp Knives Rock, the TV show, coming. It should be 20 to 40 minutes long of a well-produced TV show.
Pineapple. Yeah. All right. That's great. Let us know if you have any questions, like what you want to see and stuff like that for the next sharpening, advanced sharpening, or the Naoto's Nerd Hour, I guess. And you wanna, what you want to see and what you want to know, stuff like that. I have been actually experimenting on this guy. It's much more harder than I'd anticipated.
I am very excited to use that machine. I haven't yet, and I'm very excited, Naoto.
It's harder than I was working on the back.
I've used the really big ones. I'm sure the little one's easier.
Sure, but we will have to wait until panning out to the stores, because it's more more margin of errors on this guy here. I found, so I don't want to mess up with the customer's knives, So see how I manage and start to see pan out to the stores. Alrighty. Anything else? I think the questions stopped a little bit. So
yeah, it looks like Mr. Admiral Longstash, he says he looks forward to the pineapple race. What time GMT? Well, I never use GMT now that I don't live in England. That's Greenwich Mean Time, Naoto. There's the international Greenwich line that runs through England. Runs through runs through Greenwich in London. I used to live in Greenwich, actually, Naoto.
So it's almost 6 o'clock here, right? So just like subtract 4 hours from now, the time that you're in right now. That's 2 o'clock.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, subtract 2.5 hours from wherever you are, and there you go. Now, look at that. Nathan says it's 9 p.m. GMT. There you go. Yeah, I used to use GMT all the time when I lived there. I used to, like I said, I used to live in Greenwich. I used to be able to walk to the date line there that runs through Greenwich. Okay, we've got some more questions rolling in. Somebody was asking, blank was asking about how to, here. No, that's not that question. There, that's that question. Which is, how do you polish Rainbow Damascus? I don't actually have an answer for that.
I would probably try the same, because it is done by a sandblast. The brass and the copper won't lose its color even after you polish them. For an experiment, I am bringing a 2 different type of polishing powders from Suehiro that's supposed to bring that those Damascus finish back. So
you didn't tell me that.
Just decided to bring like 3 bottles of each for the next shipment. So it's gonna be soon.
You are keeping some secrets now, Till.
Yeah. Well, no one. Me and just Ellie, I was like, hey, we should get this one for just to practice and experiment.
You should get that just for that, for sure. Do you remember years ago, I got those nano powders years ago, but it wasn't what we wanted.
No.
Aaron Patton, who I believe sponsored me. So last week now, Till, Chris Lord and I and Alex, we took the challenge of trying to feed ourselves for $24, which, by the way, is frankly impossible. I was hungry for the whole week and malnourished and grumpy. And he said, when it was all over, by the way, I raised $6,400 for that, which I had to double because I said I was going to double it if I cheated. And I did. I stole 2 pierogies one night from my family and ate 2 pierogies. So I thought I was going to raise about $800, and I thought I could double 800. That's okay. Instead, I raised 6,400. So that That was a surprise. That was a lot of money that cost me.
That was right. The those guys, the Ottawa guys, raised another. I don't know.
They raised 3,500, I think.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah, right.
It was really good.
Yeah. So yeah, so proud of you guys doing that. I'm like and I did it for portion for not you because you're head of those teams. So I did I donated for the Chris and Alex.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Aaron's asked me, what did I eat after I finished the $24 challenge? And Naoto, I have to admit, I stayed up till midnight. And I cracked open a bottle of wine. And I had made some cinnamon raisin bread earlier in the day. So I had a big fat slice of cinnamon raisin bread toasted with too much butter on it, and a glass of wine that turned into almost a whole bottle of wine at midnight, which is very inappropriate. And I had a party with myself, apparently. I don't know what got into me that day. Looks like one more question here, and if this is the end of it, if you've got another question, squeeze it in. Otherwise, this will be the last one. Will you be getting any more Nigara knife in the future? I've seen some awesome Damascus from him. Him or them?
Yeah, I've seen them. Probably. We could get them, so probably.
Depends. It's hard for us sometimes to get knives from small makers because they just can't make enough for us for the year, right? For 6 stores. So sometimes what we do is we buy them for what we call the small makers month. Yeah. And then we can feature knives that we can't get a supply of for a year. But we can get them enough. Recipe for cinnamon raisin bread: make your favorite bread, smear in a bit of butter in between, like roll it out, smear in a bit of butter, raisin, cinnamon, roll it up, stick it in a loaf pan, proof it, bake it. There's your recipe for that. All right, Naoto, thanks for a great day.
Oh, thank you. That was great.
So subscribe to our YouTube and ring the bell. I don't know what that means, but ring the bell, and you'll be alerted when we do live videos and we drop new videos. And starting in April, you're going to see our TV show called Sharp Knives Rock right here on YouTube.
Yeah.
Naoto, you're involved. You're one of the hosts. You didn't even know. You just know now. I just found out. How do you feel?
Pretty good. I'm pretty comfortable.
They have a challenge for us now. So there's always a challenge that you, Mike, and I have to go out and camp overnight, but we can only bring one knife with us. And we're going to have to start a fire, fillet a fish, and make a tomato sandwich in the morning. So you need to find out what is the one knife to rule them all for that.
Maybe.
Oh, interesting. I've already got my knife picked out. It's not what you think. All right. Ciao. Have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend for those Canadian friends. Have a good long weekend.
All right. We have a long weekend. That's why the weather's so beautiful. That's why the weather's so beautiful today. -30. Ciao.